placement is a Latin American house. It's in North London, Northwest London, and is an NGO. I firstly had some problems to find my placement because I live in South East and it takes me about 1 hour and a half to get there. So I didn't want to do that one. I didn't want to work for them for that reason. Although I found that the organisation was quite interesting, I didn't want to be travelling for that long. So I decided to go for the Spanish embassy. And I was going to start in November, but then I got email from them beginning of December saying that they couldn't have me because they were short on money, because they were refurbishing the offices, so they didn't have enough room for me there. So then I had to go back to Latin American House, but luckily she accepted me, because I had already spoken to her, but she accepted me back. And then she was like, well, I'm glad you came because we need volunteers. So I then started at the beginning of January, so only like 3 weeks ago. But I've already had a few challenges and I've already been able to see how it works. So Latin American House gives legal advice to mainly Latin American immigrants that live in London. That also includes Portuguese speakers, and that's where they were really glad I was working with them because I can speak Portuguese as well. They give housing advice and work-related problems. They have advisors and lawyers that work with them as volunteers, and some that are just normal employers. There are workers and volunteers from different places in Spain and South America that work there. So dealing with different accents was a bit of a challenge at the beginning. Although my Spanish is not that bad, it was just quite hard, like getting used to everyone's accent, and it was quite different. Now it's okay, but at the beginning it was a bit like, oh my god. As I work in the reception, I just do the normal things you'd be expected to do there, picking up calls, replying back to emails, letting people in the building. Yeah, mainly that. People have said that it's quite busy and then it's just really dead and like what you're doing between. So I just, whenever I don't have anything to do, I just go around and ask people if they need my help. And that's been quite helpful. They always have something that needs to get done, something that has to be organised, a file or a call that needs to be done. So I've just been doing that because I just don't want to be sitting there doing nothing. So on my first day, I had a bit of a challenge because I had a lady that called in, and one, she spoke really fast Spanish, so I had to tell her to calm down and try and speak a bit slower so I could understand her. And she was really desperate. She was saying that she didn't have a house, she didn't have money, she didn't know what to do. So she was just telling me her whole life story, and I'm just listening. I'm not sure what to do. What do I do? Do I get her some help? I mean, I had no idea. She was like, I don't have a roof to spend tonight, I don't know where I'm going to sleep, I don't know what to do. So I just wanted to help, but at the same time I'm just a volunteer, and it was my first day and I couldn't really do anything for her. So I just had to go around and try and find some help and then get back to her. We managed to sort something out, but it was just kind of like really scary, like what am I supposed to do? And then on my second week, I felt like I was quite useful there because they had two Brazilian people that had me to interpret for them. So I had to call them and explain what was happening because they couldn't understand Spanish and couldn't speak English as well. And then I had to translate a whole email into Portuguese to them, so that was quite useful as well. I know I'm there to practice my Spanish, but being able to practice all the three languages at the same time has been really, really helpful because it's something that I want to work with in the future. In general, it's been a really good experience. They're really nice people, and whenever I need help, they always like helping me. And yeah, I've enjoyed it so far, so it's good.